Hey, boss, he ain't working.
Sippers, sippets, welcome back to another episode of Pour Your Own Problems. I am your host, Mercy. And upon yesterday, I was just cruising and had no awareness that it was a No Kings protest going on here in Texas. I was just driving down the street. I'm like, man, why so much traffic right here? And the traffic was for no reason. And as I got closer, I end up seeing a No Kings protest. Looking, and I was like, what do I see here? And so we're going to review the video and also get into the news about liberals are fighting for everything but have no substance. So let's review. Next, you can see they're at a park. I was simply just driving by. And yes, there was a few people out there that were youth, but mostly, what do you see? And I'm sorry if the video going too fast. I try to slow it down, but mostly it was just older people standing for all types of things, but none of it had real substance. And I feel like that's why it actually failed here in Texas, particularly around the Houston area, because it's no substance. It's no substance whatsoever. So now that we've seen that, let's get off into the news. And it's showing that it was about 8 million people gathered nationwide for a No Kings protest. So let's review.
Democracy looks like.
Tonight, organizers estimate millions are hitting the streets from coast to coast and beyond, protesting the Trump administration and its policies.
We are all fighting. We are fighting for America.
Thousands of marches planned in all 50 states. It's round 3 of major demonstrations in the No Kings movement. Organizers predicted it to be the single largest nonviolent day of action in American history, and choosing St. Paul for the flagship event.
Justice for Reagan, justice for good.
Joe McCoy from our Minneapolis NBC affiliate is there.
People arrived at the Minnesota State Capitol starting at 8 a.m. today. Concerns over immigration enforcement are top of protesters' minds following the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy earlier this year.
And in New York,
people filling the streets here in Midtown Manhattan. Many of them have been to the previous No Kings rallies, but they say the enforcement action on immigration and the war in Iran have brought them out to the streets again. What's brought you personally out here to No Kings today?
What brought me out here is that war and how things are being done in this country now.
Dana Griffin is in Los Angeles.
LA crowds are known for pushing the limit, so steel gates have been installed at nearby freeway on-ramps to prevent protesters from disrupting traffic.
People also rallying around the world in Rome, Madrid, Paris, and Athens. At another march in London, one protester telling our Danielle Hamamjian this about the United States.
What are your views on America at this moment in time?
A sad, sad story.
People on a California beach spelling out this message with their bodies.
Don't drop.
And hundreds gathering in reliably red Brunswick County, North Carolina. Demonstrations peaceful nationwide.
I believe that we will win.
The White House dismissing it all, saying in a statement, the only people who care about these Trump derangement therapy sessions are reporters who are paid to cover them.
Democracy.
And I agree. Like, it was a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. And y'all out here trying to stick it to the man. Y'all got so much, they got so much smoke for Trump. It's ridiculous. But how can he be king when Congress holds the purse strings of America? If anything, we should be talking to Congress, saying it's the Congress. In fact, if this was geared towards Congress, I'd probably be out there with them. But to single out one person in particular, Donald Trump, just because you don't like him, is quite asinine and backwards, in my opinion. Let's hear what Robert De Niro had to say about it all.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to share this event with so many committed people here in this room and out in the streets. And I'm proud to stand with an Indivisible and all the organizations promoting No Kings. The concept of No Kings is a great rallying cry and hugely successful as millions of us have answered the call. I support this movement 150%. Yeah. But when the crowds are chanting No Kings, what I'm really hearing, as we all know, is no Trump.
That's right.
There have been other presidents who have tested the constitutional limits of their power, but none have been such an existential threat to our freedoms and security.
He don't even believe what he's saying with this script. As much smoke he been talking on the line online these past few years about Donald Trump. Robert De Niro, no, just stick to acting, big dog. And I'm a fan. And I'm gonna continue to watch your movies, but come on. This, and believe it or not, like, I don't think people really understand, or these celebrities really understand, y'all voices in this day and age don't work anymore. Back in yesteryears, that used to work. We used to just rally behind what a celebrity would say. But now, it just don't hit the same. It just don't hit the same. And I believe because of y'all go with anything that funds your pockets. All this wokeism, all this, walking on eggshells, the rhetoric that y'all have produced over the years, it just don't hit the same. We see y'all for who y'all are, and what are y'all? Human beings just like the rest of us. You may have a little more in your bank account, but your life and the fruit, some of your fruit that is displayed is no different from the rest of us. So I don't think it hit the same. Now, if I see him in person, hey, it's Robert De Niro, of course. I'm not going to sit here and fake the funk like I haven't been inspired by this person, or I don't see, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, I'm not a fan. Never going to do that. But at the same time, when it comes down to politics and me paying my bills and things of that nature, I'm not listening to Robert De Niro. I'm sorry. But I digress. Let's keep it going.
None, except Trump. He must be stopped, and he must be stopped now. Amen. It's time to say no to kings. It's time to say no to Donald Trump. We've had enough. No King Trump. No unnecessary wars that rob our resources, sacrifice our brave servicemen and women, and slaughter innocents. No corrupt leader enriching himself and the Epstein class buddies.
Two things that he said in that. Were you complaining about the resources that Obama sent Iran? Did you say anything about sending our resources to Ukraine? Did you calling out Trump about Epstein, but did you call out Congress, Democrats that was associated with him? as well in some type of capacity? Like, what are we talking about? If you're gonna call somebody out, if you're gonna call a thing out, you gotta call it all out. And that's why this looks so disingenuous. All of it. Let's keep it going.
No taking away health care from our most vulnerable neighbors. No unaffordable groceries, no unaffordable energy, no unaffordable housing, and no inflation at its highest level since COVID.
Didn't he inherit all of this? This is just year 2. This is just the beginning of year 2. Didn't he inherit all of this? Like, people got to start thinking with common sense. Now, yes, with the Iran situation, gas prices did go up, but they've been low for most of this tenure since Trump came back into office. Interest rates have went down. Everything just still has to catch up to the policies and the things that he had to reverse that we've been living with in the Biden administration. People got to start using their context clues and think common sense wise. It's ridiculous.
No government masked thugs shooting down our neighbors in the streets. Trump has to be stopped. And that's what No Kings is all about. Because he can't do all the fucked up things that he's been doing without the collusion of Congress and the goons in his administration. They're bound to him by fear of losing their own jobs, their own power. It's diabolical. How can this be happening? Look at the power of the No Kings national uprising. Look at the power of the No Kings national uprising. Afraid of Trump? Please. No, they should be more afraid of us.
That's right.
Because we still believe in the core American values of justice, equality, decency, and kindness. Because we're going from the streets to the ballot box, and because we all deserve a country with no kings, no Trump. Thank you.
He said a mouthful right there. But only thing I agree with is that, yes, you do have to go to the ballot boxes. But what about protesting peacefully? You sure? No violence? You sure? Because what I seen in Minnesota months ago, impeding law enforcement, that wasn't peaceful. In fact, some of the outbreaks during this King protest wasn't peaceful. Let's review.
Our other top stories: streets are now back open near the Federal Detention Center in downtown LA after some members of a No Kings protest clashed with law enforcement. And we have new numbers in from the LAPD and from federal officials. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kathy Barrett.
And I'm Camilla Rambaldi in for Jonathan Gonzalez. More than 6 people were arrested downtown, and News Chopper 4 was overhead. Starting just before 5 tonight, we saw some people from the nearby No Kings March move toward the federal building.
What is that?
You can see them kicking the barricade. The LAPD says they were throwing concrete blocks, bottles, and other objects, causing federal officers to use tear gas. But then a change. Unlike some past protests, law enforcement did not let this crowd linger into the night.
They did issue a dispersal order around 5:45 and moved in to make arrests shortly after. Some protesters were tackled. One protester was seen on camera being knocked over by a mounted horse. Bill Saley with the U.S. Attorney's Office says he is seeking federal felony charges for anyone accused of assaulting officers.
This was just a small group. The demonstration in downtown LA and the hundreds.
Right. That don't look like I'm protesting peacefully.
We begin with breaking news from Portland's ICE facility at the South Waterfront, where crowds have clashed with federal agents and police tonight, at one point even breaking through the ICE facility's main gate. Fox 12's Vince Ibarra joins us live from the ICE facility tonight and breaks down what happened. Vince.
Yeah, well, Ward, the crowd has really cleared out, but we can still hear them banging and we can still see them banging on the building. This comes after protesters were able to break an entrance gate. Authorities quickly did move in and did their best to control the crowd. A break at the ICE building on Saturday. After a day filled of marching in opposition of the current administration, protesters broke open an entrance gate at the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement building in South Portland.
We need to stand up as a people and say this is not okay. We have to apply constant pressure.
The evening began with several people gathering at the Elizabeth Carruthers Park.
I pride my community. We all come together in different ways. Everyone has their different role to play. And, big protests like this wouldn't happen without everyone putting in the effort and people showing up.
As the sun started to set, several dozen people marched down South Moody Avenue. The crowd finished their march a few blocks away in front of the ICE facility. Within minutes of arriving, protesters crowded in front of the entrance at the facility and broke open the gate. For a moment, federal agents pushed the crowd away from the area. Eventually, city and state police stepped in to move protesters before they could gain access to the building. Officers were armed with riot control ammunition, but it was not used to control the crowd. A little before 8 p.m., city and state police pulled back for federal agents to step in and maintain the crowd. And there was concern over tear gas being used since there was a pause on a federal order limiting the use of tear gas. But since we've been here, we've seen people with masks, but we have not seen any chemical munitions being used to control the crowd. For now, live in South Portland, I'm Vince Ibarra, Fox 12 Oregon.
Yeah. And so there you have it. At the end of the day, like I said, liberals are crazy. They're going nuts. These protests, in my opinion, are meaningless. And it's like they fight for any and everything, but what they're fighting for has no substance whatsoever. And so like I said, these No King rallies, if it was about Congress, because they hold the purse strings, they make the policies, they make the laws. If you were going to your cities, your states' representatives, I wouldn't see no problem in a No Kings rally. But the fact that y'all have TDS and it's singular to one particular person because you don't like them, I think is utterly egregious and ridiculous on all levels, and is not gonna work. But sippers, y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comments. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's your boy Mercy. I'm out.